Good evening, welcome back to my channel and thank you for joining me as always. So today I thought I would do a little video to let you into what it is that I pack in my photography bag. Being a model as well as a photographer means that my bag setup isn't like the average photographers. As well as all of this gear, I will carry around makeup and dresses and everything else. So let's get started and show you what it is that I have inside this little bag of mine.
Here we go, I'm a kid in a candy store. So sweet, I keep coming back for more. I'm like, I'm a sucker for you. I'm a sucker for you.
So first and foremost, the camera that I'm filming on is a Canon M50. We also use a Canon to M50 lens adapter. So this allows us to put any one of these lenses on and get any sort of desired depth of field or effect that we want to whilst filming. So that's super handy to have. The camera that I create all of my magic on is the Canon 600D crop sensor. So it's nothing special and it's not like the latest edition or anything, but it helps me do what I need to do. And having been on a Lumix LX7 compact camera before, I feel like, you know, this is a better camera for me. It's a DSLR and it takes me that little bit of a level up. Because obviously I'm no pro, I'm literally just learning. So yeah, and obviously because a lot of what I shoot is inside buildings, so I'll have to bracket, or you know, I'll have to do certain amounts of exposures. I use the trusty Bemro Travel Angel tripod. Now I've had this for about just over a year I think, and it's amazing. It works in all type of climates. I've shot in Iceland with it, I've shot in Namibia with it, so yeah, it's a great tripod. Obviously all of this gear, I will put details down below if you want to check it out and have a look. But yeah, the tripod is one of my most favourite things for sure. So onto the lenses that I use. So this is the 10 to 18mm wide angle. Now this is great because obviously I do a lot of like abandoned photography, architecture, things that are wide, you know, so this lens works really well for that. Obviously on my camera, because my camera's a crop sensor, it's a little bit more zoomed in, but I don't mind, it still works well. So but I don't mind, so it still works well. So what I will do is I will pack this bag as I talk. And I will also stick a video at the end so you can see how it is I pack my bag and get everything in there, because it's quite a squeeze. So we'll just pop that in there. So this is the 50mm 1.8 Canon lens. This is like my best friend. It's great for capturing detail, for capturing portraits, and quite recently on one of the workshops that we had here in Georgia, I found it to be incredibly useful when we were walking through this market. And there was just like people selling cheese, people selling their vegetables, just like local Georgians going about their daily business. But I was able to capture some really, really special photos with this. And yeah, it's number one lens indeed. This is the 85mm 1.8 Canon lens, so this is a lot more zoomed in. It's quite a bit heavier as well actually, but again, for like if you're on mountain tops, like shooting churches or anything like that, then it works amazingly for the more zoomed in shots. And as I said earlier, because my camera is a crop sensor, it means that I can get just that little bit closer to the subject that I'm shooting. In terms of like portrait shooting, obviously it'll be when you're far away or if you're getting sort of up close, you know, details, and it works quite well in low light as well. So that's another really good lens. So I'll pop these in there. So now we're done with the, oh no, wait, one more. So this is the Dragon Touch 4K video camera. Now admittedly we haven't used this as much as we should have. I'm not sure why it's finding the time to take photos, do video and do everything else upon that, but I'm going to keep it in my bag for the next year going forward. I use the trusty Bemro Travel Angel tripod. Now I've had this for about just over a year, I think, and it's amazing. It works in all type of climates. I've shot in Iceland with it, I've shot in Namibia with it, so yeah, it's a great tripod, and I'm mentioning it now because it is a very good little tool. Like if you're in a swimming pool, diving, anything like that, in a protective case like this, it can film some really cool stuff. So I'm going to keep that in the bag because I know that I will use it in the future. So this is obviously a very important little gadget to have, especially on the like long trips that we go on, or long road trips. You know, somebody's phone's always going to die, or somebody's drone's always going to need charging, or something like that. So this little tool here is really good for doing that. So this is a variable MD filter. I don't use this as often as I should, but I definitely will in the future as I learn more. This just basically helps you to adjust through different stops of light, and it's really, really good to stop extra light entering that lens. And it's also great for shooting like waterfalls, or if you're shooting like a castle with, you know, like a flowing river or something, then that helps capture the water so it's smooth and not so jaggedy. So what next? So what do I, now I'm organised, I'm a messy, organised person, just put it that way. So I'm forever losing things, I'm forever misplacing things. So I find little things like this to be really, really handy. So this one here is literally, it's just a bag. It's got a little switch in here. So this is like a Canon timer switch. I use this quite a lot actually when I'm doing my self-portraits, because you can set the 10-second timer on your camera and then you can sort of press this inconspicuously as you're posing. So that's really cool, but I keep it in there because I'd lose it otherwise. And in here is basically just all my batteries. So I've got obviously my camera batteries, video camera batteries, and the batteries for the Dragon 4K camera as well. So that's just really good to keep all that in there nicely. So this is a Temba memory card carrier. It's really quite small, really quite cute, and this is just where I keep all of my memory cards, because the last thing you want is to like go on a trip for a week, shoot loads and loads of stuff, and then find out you've lost it all because you've misplaced your memory card. So as soon as I'm done with one, I will stick it in here. I will keep the used ones in the bottom here, and I will normally keep the ones I haven't used at the top. But in here I also keep this little plastic thing, which basically has a coin inside. Now this coin just works well when I'm trying to undo the bracket on my camera, which is something that does need updating, but that is for another time. So yeah, this is a really cute little bag for my memory cards, and this is a really cute little bag for my batteries. So I keep those together in the widest part of my bag like that. An LED Lensa torch. Obviously these are like mandatory, they're really cool because we do a lot of exploring in like abandoned buildings, so it makes sense to have something like this. So this is a Temba Toolbox 4, as they call it. This is a really cool compact little bag which just helps keep all your little and sort of niggly bits in tow. So in here I have my charging port for my camera. So everything we have to charge our gear is done through a USB charger and dock. So that works really well when you're traveling, obviously. I also have some spare headphones in case I lose the ones I'm currently using, because I wouldn't last 5 minutes without those. Allen key, because obviously the Allen key works very well for if your tripod starts coming loose, or you know, if you need to just do up some nuts and bolts somewhere on your gear, which we had to do quite a lot in Africa due to the sand and taking it apart and cleaning it. So that's a good little bit of gear to have. And then I have a spare wire for my charger as well as its main one, just in case I lose it. So that's a cool little bag, and that just sits in there just nicely. And then lens wipes obviously are a must-have. With any photography you do, I think, you know, you're always going to get smudges on your lens, or your camera's going to get a bit filthy. So lens wipes are a must have. It's best to always replace them every few months, because there's been a few times where I've got a lens wipe out of my bag and it's been dry as a bone, where I've left it in there for a year and then decided to use it. So yeah, that's a good idea. Hard drives. So being a nomad and constantly on the road, you know, these are so important. This is my main hard drive. So this has everything that, you know, I've done this year, everything that I've ever done on this hard drive, and it's the main hard drive that I will work from. But then I do have this hard drive as well, which is a backup hard drive. So if I happen to drop this one or it goes missing, then everything I've captured and got is on this one. So if I can say anything, if you're gonna have a hard drive for all your stuff, I would back it up like 3 times. So that's like on one hard drive, on another hard drive, and then back it up on your computer as well, or your drive, because there's nothing more heartbreaking than losing any images that you've done. I took a trip to Ireland last year, and I lost all of my photos from like our 6-day break out there, because all I'd done is I put them on the memory card and put them straight into my laptop. And obviously my laptop malfunctioned and done something and it wiped everything. Whereas if I'd had a hard drive back then, they would have gone straight on my hard drive as well as my computer, and then I could have recouped them. But you get the message. Hard drives are important, and make sure you have at least 2, or if in James's case he has like 7. So yeah, that's a very good idea. And then the final thing as well, this is what I use when I'm doing my makeup videos. So it's super light and it's super portable. It is a portable LED ring light. Obviously not everybody, this won't be good for everyone, but because I do makeup tutorials and I do makeup videos, this light works really well. Obviously it helps because our apartment isn't that good for lighting, whereas this thing has completely saved me when filming my videos. So you can get these from Amazon. Again, all of the links will be below, so you can go out and check those out. I think I got this for about 20-25 quid, and it's so light, so portable, and it fits in my bag nicely. The final thing to mention, this will be funny, so is my laptop. So my laptop currently is in pieces in my living room drawer due to me spilling water on it. So I've taken the whole thing apart and I've ordered a new keyboard for when I get home in a couple of weeks. So we've had to disassemble the whole thing. I'm gonna have to reassemble it again, and long story short, I'm possibly might not have to, hopefully, buy a new laptop. But yes, obviously my laptop would go in the top of my bag here, and that would be perfect for me traveling around because it keeps it protected and it means that I can work from it at any time. So yeah, other than the laptop and the light, it's not the only thing. There is a couple more things. So as I mentioned earlier, I am a model and photographer combined into one. So as well as traveling with all of this photographic gear and my tripod, which by the way would slide in the side of my bag, it wouldn't go in it obviously. I quite often will have my address, or 2 or 3 or 4 or however many I feel like shooting that day. That will be in the bag as well, along with all of my gear and also my makeup bag. So you can join me next time when I will be revealing to you what it is that I have inside my makeup bag. So this is a whole nother kettle of fish. And for those of you that will be tuning in, I look forward to hearing your comments and questions. Please do like and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of my content. And if you have any other questions and queries, then feel free to get in contact with me. Bye guys.